Welcome to Championship Wrestling 83. I'm Gordon Soler, your host. With me, of course, Barbara Clary. And Barbara, I've said this before, but we really have a most unusual Take 5 segment today.
That's right. I will be talking with the holder, singular, of the Global Tag Team title, Terry Allen, who holds both belts.
All right, that's upcoming a little bit later on in the program, and Barbara will bring you a full explanation about that. Buddy Cole is with me, of course, and he'll be lending his expertise to the matches as we progress.
Thank you, Gordon. I'd say that there is a lot of fantastic matches here today, and most of all, the terrific conclusion to the fantastic wrestling match between Flair and Scott McGhee that you saw portions of last week. So just stay tuned, because this is something that no one wants to miss.
That's for sure, and I might just mention, too, that Dusty Rhodes will be back with us next week. That's right, the suspension is up. Dusty Rhodes will be returning to Championship Wrestling 83 next week, and also I understand that he will be at the Strawberry Festival in Plant City on Friday night, March 4th, not only to wrestle, but he'll be there early to sign autographs along with Barry Windham, myself, and others. So we're looking forward to that. That'll be next Friday night. And now let's take a moment to talk to Scott McGhee, the young man who we're going to be seeing in action in just a moment. We saw part of that World Championship match as we opened the program. Last week, of course, as we went off the air, that match was still in progress. And Scott, may I just say that I think you acquitted yourself extremely well.
Well, thank you very much, Gordon. It was a match of a lifetime for me. I was very fired up for it. I'm big friends with a great wrestler. It's just a pleasure today to be with you today.
All right, we're going to be talking further to Scott McGhee after we see the conclusion. As Buddy pointed out, we are now going to see the conclusion of that World Heavyweight Championship match direct from the Armory in Tampa between Scott McGhee and Ric Flair, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. We'll come back with the conclusion of that match right after we pause for these words.
He is still giving it everything he's got, but the champion does seem to be moving with a little more confidence than he did earlier, and certainly McGhee is taking a lot more punishment, and each time he takes another percussion like that, he has to be slowed down some more. The system cannot be operating properly, and now McGhee is beginning to gasp a little bit for breath.
Well, you're absolutely right, Gordon. It's quite obvious that Scott McGhee is in trouble with a knee drop across the forehead there. Scott McGhee runs out with a little more gas. Every time he does take a body slam, a elbow across the chest, a knee in the head, this hurts. Your body can only take so much punishment. After a while, you're completely out. Right now, it looks like here's the world champion. Looks like it could be a brain buster coming down here.
High vertical suplex, and McGhee, as the champion, very wearily moved on top of him into a lateral press, and McGhee powered out again. And brother, you talk about second effort. This young fella's got it.
Well, Gordon, for McGhee powering out of something like that, this shows this man is in fantastic. He's got so much determination. He just doesn't know the work with. This man will never quit or give up. It would have to take his last dying breath, and he won't quit. He's really got what it takes. This is a fantastic young athlete. We're going to be hearing a lot of Scott McGhee. If he don't beat him tonight, he will sometime confuse, but he's still got a chance. The world champion is staying right on top. The world champion won't give him a break at all.
This is where earlier in the match, twice McGhee had the champion in real trouble. Twice. He did not, as you even said, he should have moved in immediately.
That's right.
He didn't. He delayed, and that's all somebody like Ric Flair needs. And it's a psychological situation as well as physical.
You're right, Gordon. See, earlier in the match, when Scott McGhee had the champion in trouble, if he had stayed right on top of him, he very possibly could be the world champion right now, but he backed off. He gave the champion a chance to get up, and you can't give a man like the champion an even break at all, because he sure won't give you one.
Pile driver, but they're into the ropes.
The champion right now taking advantage of every opportunity. Looks like he's going for another pile driver.
McGhee offends him. McGhee offends him, and the champion has to be thinking in his mind, what do I have to do to stop him?
That was a fantastic counter by Scott McGhee. It seemed like his man comes up with there's another counter by Scott McGhee into a sleeper hold. He's putting a sleeper hold on the world champion. This could be it, Gordon. We could have a new world champion here tonight.
Scott McGhee has applied the sleeper hold to Ric Flair, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and he's clamping down. The champion has to feel darkness closing in now.
If Scott McGhee can just keep this man from the ropes, keep him in the middle of the ring, keep him away from those ropes, Scott, and you'll be the new world champion.
McGhee clamping down, the champion, reaching out, trying to get to those ropes. The champion, a scant 6 or 7 inches away. McGhee clamping down. And you can hear the crowd picking up the roar now as they can sense that Ric Flair can sense that heavyweight championship belt slipping away from him as darkness closes in, as the belt and consciousness both begin to fade from Ric Flair, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Referee checking 2. Got a foot over. That forces the break.
Gordon, all of the professional wrestling matches I've had, anytime a sleeper hold on was on me, I found out the only real counter for this was to get to the rope. It's very difficult to break a sleeper hold. Just getting to the rope is the best way out. And fortunately for the champion, Ric Flair was able to get to the rope. It seemed like the tide of battle has suddenly turned. That sleeper hold took an awful lot out of the champion. You know, it stops the blood flow to your brain. When your brain doesn't get blood, you go out. You can't think clearly. Nothing. Everything slows down. You're moving in slow motion. Right now, the champion is slow motion.
Actually, McGhee in that back suplex may have done the champion a favor, because that percussion to the back could have stimulated the heartbeat once again, picking up the blood pressure, giving the champion that added flow of blood to the brain that he needed. And McGhee coming off the ropes that time. The champion was able to roll back out of the way. His wits are about him once again. He missed that time, and McGhee got him with a cross body block, partially blocked by the champion. The champion powers out once again, and McGhee.
Right now, McGhee is backing off again. McGhee should go in right in and get it. But he went in a little bit careless. Look, it seems like the champion got McGhee with a low blow there, but not quite hard blow. McGhee is right back on top of him. Now McGhee is...
High knee lift now by Scott McGhee, and the champion back on his feet. McGhee catches him once again. The NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair in trouble. Ooh, brother. And Flair now, with reckless abandon, firing out at Scott McGhee.
Gordon, both men can hardly move now. They are so exhausted in this exhausting and grueling match. They have been gone full force now for over a half hour into this match. And this, look at this.
Beautiful move by McGhee. Atomic knee drop that has the champion. Champion is down again. McGhee closing in now. McGhee. Wild-eyed fury. Ooh, no.
Unfortunate move for Scott McGhee. It looked like he might have had the champion in really bad trouble then, Gordon.
Had to wrench his back on that one as he hurtled into those ropes. The champion slipped to one side. McGhee had to really wrench his back, and the champion very quickly. Vertical suplex has the count. Well, a tremendous match. I'll tell you what, buddy, Scott McGhee, if it means anything to him, certainly, in my opinion, has taken the moral victory of the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair.
You're absolutely right, Gordon.
Buddy, I think you would have to agree with me. One of the greatest heavyweight championship matches I've seen in a long, long time.
Well, Gordon, I wrestled all around the world for years, and I was in championship matches. I witnessed many other world title matches. And this was one of the most fantastic, close-fought wrestling matches I've ever seen. Now, Scott, let me ask you this. After witnessing this match, you're very fortunate to be able to review the films of this match. After seeing it, do you feel there is any way that you might change your tactics the next time, any mistakes that you might have made that you could correct it, and when you are ever given a chance for another world title match?
Well, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that Ric Flair is one of the greatest world champions of all time. And he has to defend his belt just about every day of the year. He's on a very tight schedule. And it's a very rigorous schedule to keep in tip-top shape. But I did feel that a couple of times I could have taken more advantage of the situation than I did, because Ric Flair is a great defensive wrestler, and I think I made a couple of mistakes during the match. But it was the first time I ever wrestled Ric Flair. He is the world champion, but I feel that every dog has his day, and if I ever get a chance to wrestle with Ric Flair again, I will give it 100% like I did the last time. And I just look forward to it. I love to wrestling. I'm proud to be a wrestler. I'm proud to be a professional wrestler. I just love wrestling, and I'd like to get in with the world champion any time in the future. I just look to get and give it 100%.
Well, Scott, I would like to say that many times during that match, I thought we were going to have a new world champion.
I can certainly concur with that. He was an outstanding competitor, and it was a great, great match, and I have to congratulate Scott McGhee, too, for the kind of attitude that he has regarding the world heavyweight champion, Ric Flair. That only means, in my estimation, that Scott McGhee is indeed a world-class wrestler, and perhaps one day we will address him as the world heavyweight champion. Right now we've got a match in the ring, so let's go to our ring announcer.
10-minute time limit. Introducing first from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 230 pounds, Rocky Raymond. His partner from Tulsa, Oklahoma, weighing in at 220 pounds, Tommy Wright. Their opponents from Australia, at a combined weight of 468 pounds, the fabulous Kangaroos.
The Kangaroos, of course, carrying the national emblem of their country, Australia, into the ring with them, and our good friends down under, who recently have had some terrible times. There was fires ripping through their country, but here are two great competitors, the former global tag team champions, taking on Rocky Raymond and Tommy Wright. That's Wright in the ring now. Raymond, of course, out of Boston College, now makes his home in Fort Lauderdale.
You know, Gordon, I might add that the Kangaroos manager, J.J. Dillon, who isn't here right now, has expressed a lot of displeasure about the Kangaroos losing the global tag team title. And right now I do believe that the Kangaroos are going to be doing everything in their power to try and get a return match with Terry Allen, who Terry Allen all by himself at this time is the global tag team champion.
Yeah, and we're going to be investigating that situation thoroughly with Barbara's Take 5 segment later on. Meanwhile, the Kangaroos are punishing both Rocky Raymond and Tommy Wright. Yeah, you're talking about that wire that we got from J.J. Dillon. If he could have put his emotions any stronger, that telegram would have burned up in our hands. He is red hot about the situation and is protesting a lot of things. Of course, he'll be back shortly. He's taking his annual worldwide tour looking for new talent, and I guess that's why he's the #1 manager.
Absolutely. He does go worldwide looking for top wrestling talent, and he seems to think that once his back is turned, these men went out, they were taken unfair advantage of by the Midnight Rider and Terry Allen, which is one of the reasons that he did lose the belt. But he says that once he gets back on the scene, he guarantees he definitely will be regaining that title.
Meanwhile, the Kangaroos, double leg pickup here, and it is, there is that boomerang, and brother, that is effective. Down for the count, and so the Kangaroos in quick order dispatch Rocky Raymond and Tommy Wright. Well, there's another issue right now here on Championship Wrestling 83 that is far from being resolved, referring, of course, to the issue between Rufus R. Jones, the freight train, and Bad Leroy Brown. Rufus Jones has joined us here at the desk, and, well, I understand that your $5,000 is still up.
That's for sure, Gordon. You know, Brother Leroy Brown there, as I said before, I will challenge me with a headbutt, beat me with a headbutt, you get $5,000. And any place, anywhere in the arena, or anywhere in the street, doesn't matter to me at all. Because Brother Leroy Brown coming this time, no question about it, man's big, he's tough. But he started a war with me, and I'm going to end this war. And I'm going to end this war to get him to a match at some place, somewhere, and I challenge with $5,000 out of my pocket. I'm putting $5,000 anytime, any place that he can win a match with a headbutt.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Recently, we saw a match between Rufus R. Brown and Rufus R. Jones, rather, and Bad Leroy Brown. Well, rather than trying to describe it, let's take a look at it. Let's go to the Armory and take a look at Bad Leroy Brown and Rufus R. Jones, the freight train, in action.
Event, no time limit. Introducing first from Dillon, South Carolina, weighing in at 268 pounds, the freight train Rufus R. Jones. His his opponent from the south side of Chicago at 320 pounds, Bad Leroy Brown.
Bad Leroy Brown on the far side of the ring, going up against Rufus R. Jones, the freight train, Mr. Magic as he is called. A guy with a tremendous personality, an unusual, unorthodox style in the ring, buddy.
Well, he certainly does have an unusual style. I've known Rufus R. Jones for probably about 15 years. I met him back in Kansas City many years back. And he came in there he was quite a flash there. I mean, he was Mr. Magic there. He always has been. He brings a lot of personality, a lot of color to the ring. But right now it seems like he's had a lot of problems with Big Bad Leroy Brown. And Big Bad Leroy Brown doesn't want his brother calling him brother. And it seems like Rufus R. Jones insists that everybody is his brother.
He does indeed, and it is Leroy Brown who comes into this match with a definite superiority complex.
Oh, absolutely. He does have a superiority complex. However, Rufus R. Jones might bring Leroy Brown down to a little bit lower. He might get rid of that complex somewhat.
They lock up. Brown at the same token. Ooh, a headbutt. Had no effect on Rufus.
Well, sooner or later, somebody's head has to give in. I don't care how thick that skull is. Somebody's head is going to soften after there's headbutts like that, because you start pounding away at that brain up there, and something's got to give, Gordon.
Locking up once again, and it's Rufus R. Jones pulling Brown back into the corner. You talk about two big men. 320 pounds on Bad Leroy Brown. He's in the black. Rufus R. Jones in the red.
Well, it seems like Rufus R. Jones' style is to kind of get Big Bad Leroy Brown disoriented. He moves around a lot and keeps him confused as to what he's going to do next. It seems like Rufus R. Jones does have quite a few moves. Big Bad Leroy Brown really beating on the back of Jones' head now. He's got him in a little trouble here, but I don't think Rufus R. Jones is out yet. He's got a lot of determination. He starts beating him in the head now. That's where this man can take a lot of punishment. He's got a very hard head.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Big Bad Leroy Brown, and I went into some of his background. I went up on Western Avenue in the south side of Chicago, and I'll guarantee you about this fella. He's been in a lot of Chicago street fights. He knows what it's like to mix it up. He may not be the fanciest wrestler in the world, but Brown is bad news when it comes to those dukes.
Well, Gordon, when a man is 320 pounds, grown up in the west side of Chicago in street fights, he's tough. Because you have to take a lot of punishment just to survive in streets like that, and he can take it out. He can dish it and take it both. Right now, he does have Rufus in a little trouble here.
On those ring ropes, and it is Rufus Jones back into the center part of the ring, and Bad Leroy Brown closing in on him once again.
Well, it looks like Rufus R. Jones is really going to have to try and do a little thinking here, try to get his wits back with him, and he's going to have to come up with some good counters here, because he is in trouble now. It seems like for the last 2 or 3 minutes, Leroy Brown has just been punishing Rufus R. Jones, and well, here he comes. He's coming at him now, but not quite enough.
Well, it's a lights-out match. Anything goes. It's outside the sanction of the NWA. Wow. Jones explodes back, explodes again.
See, with a lights-out match, the referee is almost powerless to do anything in there. The referee is just there to count the pinfalls and listen to a man submit. There can be no fines or no disqualification in the lights-out match, because absolutely anything goes.
Brother Jones wound up from the backyard. He caught Brown alongside the ear. That percussion of the ear had to make him lose his balance, and he had Brown's eyes rolling.
Well, when 320 pounds like that falls down, that makes an awful big thud going down. Now he's out here on the floor with Rufus R. Jones right behind him, going after him. Rufus R. Jones is not giving him a chance. He's staying right on him now.
They've got him battling right out here on the floor, and ooh, brother. He drove Rufus R. right into the ring post, caught him on that steel ring post.
Well, Gordon, it looks to me like Rufus R. Jones' forehead is lacerated. The right here beside me now. There's Big Bad Leroy Brown just putting out a lot of punishment on Rufus R. Jones now. Right here on my table, right in front of me. Yes, absolutely. Rufus R. Jones, forehead is got a severe laceration about his head. Looks like Leroy Brown is right on top of him, trying to tear his eyes out.
The referee has been...
And so the issue between Rufus R. Jones and Bad Leroy Brown is far from being resolved. The challenge still stands.
This match one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first from Pampa, Texas, at 285 pounds, Cowboy Ron Bass. His opponent from Denton, Texas, weighing in at 240 pounds, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Jake the Snake Roberts, the only one left out of that trio of Kevin Sullivan and Angelo, Mosca, and Roberts. Mosca and Sullivan both have been suspended from wrestling on TV for 2 weeks due to previous actions and attitudes that have occurred here on television.
You know, Gordon, after looking at Jake the Snake Roberts and his involvement with Kevin Sullivan and these occult dealing, black magic, or whatever it is they're doing, I somehow don't feel that Jake the Snake Roberts is operating with a full deck. Even I saw him back in the dressing room. He sits in the corner. He's kind of spaced out. The man obviously has a problem.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I hesitate to editorialize on the man, but I don't think that his elevator stops at every floor, that's for sure.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it, Gordon. Right now, it looks like Ron Bass has things under control, and as I don't know if everyone knows it, but about one more week, the cast can come off of Ron Bass's hand, and he'll be at 110% wrestling efficiency then. Right now, it seems like Ron Bass is operating at 100% or more. Just that he's got a powerful arms and hanging on that headlock. Many times a man can throw you off with this, but Ron Bass does have the power to really hang in there.
Yeah, Roberts tried to slide him off, but Bass just clamped down on him, and they're back up against those ring ropes. Roberts now fires on into the midsection. Now he does fire on him, but Bass caught him. Good shoulder smash, but Roberts back to the canvas again.
There he is with a hip lock takedown, right on top, putting his weight on Jake the Snake's body. Keeping that weight on there helps wear them down, and get the oxygen out of their body, keep them breathing hard. And like Ron Bass is doing quite a job out there right now. He's got Jake the Snake in trouble.
Broke his hand up in the upper part of the hand, and that cast, however, has been attacked several times. That's one of the reasons that Mosca and Sullivan have been barred from TV wrestling.
Well, fortunately, the cast is very hard plaster. If it hasn't been for the strength of the cast, his hand could have been re-broken. If you re-break an injury before it's mended, then you're really out for a long time. But fortunately, the way the doctors and surgeons put these casts on nowadays, it takes an awful lot to break it. And I'll tell you, Angelo, Mosca, and Kevin Sullivan have done everything and within their power to break that cast off and try and re-break his hand in the same place. But the Mosca and Sullivan, they have about one more week before Ron Bass has that cast off, and also it won't be very long before Dusty Rhodes will be back in the ring at 110% efficiency again. And so that's what Kevin Sullivan, J.J. Dillon, and Mosca and many of these men are really worried about, Gordon.
No question about that. I might just point out, too, that we've had a plague of injuries here of late. With Barry Windham being sidelined for a couple of weeks with a very severe concussion. Bass, who has not been sidelined but does have this handicap of a broken hand. Mike Graham, a Florida heavyweight champion, with a bad muscle tear in the chest. But right now, that top wrist lock, and it's Bass getting the side headlock back on Snake Roberts.
Well, Gordon, another injury that you overlooked there, and maybe deliberately, was about Charlie Cook hitting a pile driver on the floor just a week ago. And Charlie Cook was injured quite severely. When you get that pile driver on the floor, that is solid under your head. There's no give or nothing there. And so, like you said, there has been quite a long string of injuries. It seems to be all under the hands of J.J. Dillon's men. Right now, it looks like the referee is warning Ron Bass about possibly using that cast. But then sometimes you have to use that as a weapon because of the tactics by your opponent.
I point out that situation with Charlie Cook was
he fell victim to Roddy Piper. Piper, who certainly showed his colors in a hurry. Roberts now backing away as Bass started to close in on him. And Bass, tiring of the tactics of Snake Roberts, is stalking his man once again. And Roberts stays on that bicycle. Now moves forward, collar and elbow. And it's Roberts bullying Bass back to the ring ropes, fires him off. Misses with a right hand, and it's Bass. Quick body slam.
Well, it looks like we have Jake Roberts just backing away now. It seems like he doesn't have full control of his faculties, but he is smart enough to know when the getting is good. And right now is a good time for him to leave. Try to back in the corner and take a 10 count or 9 count, get his faculties regained.
Roberts down on his knees now, and he's got some problems, no question about that.
Absolutely. This man, like we said before, and I said, is not operating with a full deck. There's something going on in his head. Ever since his involvement with Kevin Sullivan, it seems like he has been losing a grip with reality. And how much longer this is going to go on, I don't know. Or maybe before long, the man with a little white coat might come to take him away.
Bass. Roberts lashes out with a foot, catches Bass, catches him again. Right hand to the jaw, and another one just over the ear. As Bass staggered and backed up into the turnbuckle. Snake Roberts. Fires him off, and now Roberts closes in on him once again. It's Roberts punishing Bass, a snap mare that takes Bass to the canvas. Roberts now going up and changes his mind. And now Roberts exploding with a series of left and rights. The knee to the midsection and a high knee lift, and he has an extremely dangerous knee lift.
Absolutely, Gordon. Jake Roberts does back over the top rope there. What a bad break for Jake Roberts there. Just like he climbed up there and slipped over the top, and I believe he's injured now, and Ron Bass will take full opportunity of this.
Bass with a full body slam, and Bass down across his chest as Roberts slipped and went on his head from that top rope. And Bass, being a professional, was quick to take advantage of that situation. Let me get over and have a word with Ron Bass. Well, as we saw just now, Ron Bass was quick to take advantage of that situation with Snake Roberts. Roberts apparently planned to come off that top rope right down on top of you, slipped going up and fell on his head, and you got the slam and the pinfall.
Seems like his master plan didn't work, Gordon. But I want to talk about something else right now. You know, myself and young Barry Windham, we've been having a lot of troubles with Kevin Sullivan and big nasty Angelo Mosca. It seems like these gentlemen, they like to come out, they like to use chairs, they like to break bones, they like to give concussions, and everything like that. For their actions, the NWA Florida Championship Wrestling suspended them from wrestling here on TV. Well, I don't like that, for one, because I can't get a chance of them. If they can't wrestle, how can you get out there and wrestle and get the revenge that you want? So let me tell you something, Mosca. Let me tell you something, Sullivan. Anytime, anywhere, it's time for you gentlemen to pay your dues. You've been dancing, now it's time to pay the fiddler. It's going to be fire for a change. It's going to be this right up beside your head whenever I get a chance, and I'm sure young Barry will do the same thing, baby.
Okay, there you have it. Some strong words from Cowboy Ron Bass. Stay tuned. Barbara Clary's Take 5 coming up.
This week's Take 5, we have a first. Terry Allen, who is next to me, is the holder of both global tag team belts. Congratulations, Terry.
Well, thank you very much, Barbara. You know, getting these belts back has got to be the highlight in my wrestling career. And Scott McGhee and I had these belts once and had them stolen from us by the Kangaroos. And Scott had the opportunity to go up against the world champion, which was a great honor. And I took the Midnight Rider as my partner, and we were very fortunate and had a good victory against the Kangaroos.
Well, it was very interesting. After the match where you did win the belt, the Midnight Rider told you that he could not take the belt, and he gave you both belts.
Well, I have nothing but admiration for the Midnight Rider. You know, the man's got a lot of morals. He didn't want to disclose his identity. It meant so much to him that he gave up the world title. So I can do nothing but be understanding in the fact that he couldn't give up his identity to the NWA and take these belts as well.
Well, it was a very interesting match. Why don't we take a look at the end of that match as it occurred last week at the Fort Homer Hesterly Armory in Tampa.
Well, the Midnight Rider by himself there with the two Kangaroos. Terry Allen about to come in to help.
It was Allen delivering a beautiful flying drop kick, and it is
Look at that. We have new Global Tag Team Champions for the Midnight Rider, and Terry Allen are the new Tag Team Champions for the entire globe.
Let's see if we can't get him down here for an interview. We've got brand new Global Tag Team Champions, and the entire crowd here going berserk, going absolutely wild as the Midnight Rider and Clary Allen have defeated the Kangaroos for the Global Tag Team Championship. And brother, you talk about pandemonium breaking loose here. Thousands of them. Ryder, let's see if we can't get him over here for just a moment. Terry Allen and the Rider. Congratulations, a fantastic match. Congratulations, an outstanding match. You've got the Global Tag Team Championship.
Gunbully. Terry, you know the situation I'm in. And when I'm in a situation like this, I know what to do. You know I can't keep this hand. But I know one thing. I'm going to give you the belt. He's going to have both belts. Because the Midnight Rider can't let him touch me. I can't let him touch me. Right here is the Global Tag Team Champion, Terry Allen.
Well, I'll tell you, I can't think of anything in the rules and regulations of the NWA or the global bylaws that says he can't do that.
So Terry, now being the sole holder of both belts, you now have two options as to how you're going to defend your title then.
That's right, Barbara. After reviewing the NWA rules, it doesn't say anything about me not being able to defend the belts by myself, but what it does say is that I can either defend the belts against two individuals and have them flip a coin and wrestle one of them and give them the opportunity to win the belts in that manner, or I can take a partner for that particular match and defend them in that manner. And of course, I'd like to take Scott McGhee as my partner because Scott and I have defended him quite successfully in the past, and I think he could do a good job. But the problem being he has some prior obligations which can't be helped right now, and so there are going to be some circumstances where I'm going to have to defend him by myself, but at every opportunity I'm going to take Scott McGhee as my partner and do my best to defend these belts.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. It certainly is a first in professional wrestling.
Thank you very much.
That's our Take 5 for this week.
In addition to the matches upcoming at the Strawberry Festival on Friday, March 4th, we'd also like to remind all of you in Sebring and in the Sebring viewing area, the big annual benefit for the handicapped coming up in Sebring on March 21st. The American Dream will be there. Scott McGhee, Terry Allen, and a host of others will bring you more information on that next week. But a big benefit coming up for the handicapped in Sebring on March 21st. Right now, these two gentlemen are suspended from wrestling on television this week and for 2 weeks total, but they did have some comments they wanted to make, and there's no objection to your speaking.
Yeah, we did have some comments. You know, it's awful strange that they suspend us when Dusty Rhodes is coming back. You know, the whole thing was a conspiracy. First of all, I sent him out of the state, he put a mask on his head, and then they suspend us when he's coming back. Let me tell you something, Rhodes. I'm a power that cannot be created or destroyed. My evil will live on until I rid you. And how do you think you're going to stand against the Italian Stallion, the man that sent more people to the hospital in the Canadian Football League than any man in history?
You know, Kevin, they're calling you the devil, but you are not a devil. You are a man with dexterity, never a great professional wrestler. First of all, they burned me from the helmet. The man with integrity, the master disaster. The man who's a great professional wrestler. They burned me from wrestling on television.
You can do anything.
Well, they backed me into a corner. Dusty Rhodes, Barry Windham, Ron Bass, the little crybabies. They went to the NWA. They got things their way.
Not
pretty soon it's going to be our way.
Well, gentlemen, I assume that you have had your piece now, right?
No, we won't.
Until we take a piece on the road, Windham and Bass. That's what I think.
That's where we get our piece.
Thank you very much. They have spoken their piece. Now let's go to the ring, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first from Sweetwater, Texas, weighing in at 240 pounds, the Southern Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, Barry Windham. His opponent from Ohio, at 232 pounds, Jerry Gray.
Well, now this match is underway with Barry Windham and Jerry Gray. I believe this should be a very close match. Both men are young and a lot of energy. And there's Barry Windham coming out on top of an arm drag takedown, and that with an arm bar.
You better keep an eye on it.
With a great counter move by Jerry Gray, but Barry Windham was able to counter that counter there. Still with the arm bar, holding on tight. With the fireman's carry, still not coming out on top. Here they are just kind of stalking each other, trying to feel each other out. Now we got Kevin Sullivan up there kind of taunting Barry Windham. It looks like Kevin Sullivan might be looking for trouble, but he's under suspension for wrestling on TV, and if he does climb into the ring, this could extend that suspension.
That means going in the ring. There's nothing against the floor. I ain't that stupid.
Well, it does seem like Kevin Sullivan is trying to find some kind of legal technicality around that. But Kevin Sullivan, if he does get the ring, he will. The suspension will be quite well extended.
We're not going to do it bring our suspension.
There's Barry Windham with a knee drop on the upper chest of Jerry Gray, which really knocks a lot of wind out of you, which can really wear you down. There's a straight stiff forearm right to the upper chest.
Windham in complete control here. Buddy and Todd with a beautiful flying drop kick. We were talking a few moments ago about the big benefit coming up in Sebring on March 21st. That is at Fireman's Field Stadium in Sebring, which kicks off the Avon Park Mall Festival in Highlands County for the benefit of the Highlands County Retarded. And of course, Sheriff Joe Shepard working very closely with us here at Championship Wrestling and with all of the folks. And it's going to be a tremendous affair. That'll kick it off on Monday, March 21st, Fireman Field Stadium in Sebring. Meanwhile, Barry Windham very much in control here.
Very well. There's the area coming off the ropes. This looks like going to be the end of the match for Jerry Gray. There's Barry Windham with another victory.
Barry Windham, suddenly it's Barry Windham after Kevin Sullivan, and we've got a battle going on right here. And Windham battling the two of them. And he's, wait a second, here comes Cowboy Ron Bass, and Ron Bass caught him with it. Mosca and Sullivan beating a hasty retreat as they went after Bass with a chair. Bass caught him with that cast, and brother, did he demolish them. And so Barry Windham and Cowboy Ron Bass settled their hash in a hurry, and it was Kevin Sullivan and Angelo Mosca beating a hasty retreat out the door. And well, I got to say one thing, buddy, that cast came in handy there.
Absolutely, that cast is very hard plaster, and it can be used as a deadly weapon. And how well I know, during my years of wrestling, I have come across that at times. And people think, well, your hand is in a cast, your hand might be useless, but let me guarantee you this: it can be a very deadly weapon when beat up somebody's head. The head's going to give in before that cast does, and that's just what happened when he beat that hasty retreat out the back door.
Indeed he did. He caught that chair with that cast, and it flew away from Kevin Sullivan, and Sullivan suddenly found himself without something that he is so used to using. That's the very thing that sidelined Barry Windham for 2 weeks with a rather severe concussion. We've got a couple of minutes left right now, and I think it'd be interesting to note a couple of things that have occurred here, and we might try and get a word, if we can, from Ron Bass and from Barry Windham. Here are two men who have asked that Mosca and Sullivan not be suspended. They'd rather have them in the ring, and obviously...
Well, Gordon, like I said a minute ago, it's time to start fighting fire with fire. It looked like 2 on 1 to gang up on one out there. Well, it ain't going to happen anymore, Mosca. It ain't going to happen anymore, Sullivan. From now, we'll be watching each other's back. There ain't going to be no back jumping. There ain't going to be no back fighting, and there ain't going to be no more broken bones. On our side, it's time for you guys to feel some pain. It's time for you guys to bleed. It's time for y'all to lay in the hospital, and believe me, here's two gentlemen right here who's going to see that it gets done.
You know, right now, Gordon, you know, Ron is saying that we're gentlemen. But right now, I don't feel like a gentleman at all. What's been going on here has nothing to do with wrestling. People are trying to maim each other. If that's the way these two guys want to play, That's fine with me. I've never done it before, but I'm going to start right now. There's going to be some heads cracked, some hands broke, some legs broke, anything that it takes. Anything, Barry. It's going to happen now.
Okay, there you have it, the comments from Barry Windham and Cowboy Ron Bass, and I can certainly understand exactly how they feel. Obviously, Rufus R. Jones still has that $5,000 up for bad Leroy Brown, and a headbutt versus headbutt. Terry Allen in a most unusual situation as the sole holder of the Global Tag Team Championships, and that means that he can defend that title singly, or he can choose a partner for that particular reason.
Absolutely, Gordon. There's absolutely nothing in the rule book against this. It doesn't say you can do it, but it sure doesn't say you can't. And so, therefore, Terry Allen all by himself is the Global Tag Team Champion. He can pick anyone he chooses as a partner. And I think a lot of people are hoping that maybe he might just choose Dusty Rhodes when he comes back.
Well, I was just going to say, too, Dusty Rhodes will be back with us here next week on Championship Wrestling 83. On behalf of Buddy Colt, Barbara Clary, this will be Gordon Soley saying so long.